Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 3 of the summer refresh retreat. And I'm super excited to be talking today all about the self-care idea of really focusing some time and energy on filling up our gas tanks. We talked yesterday on day 2 about having drains on our energy and really plugging those holes by addressing things that are draining us. And today is really going to be all about focusing on filling up our energy tanks. And, I think even though it's been summertime, there's been a lot of fun and lounging on patios and beach times and vacations. It can still feel like there's going. And perhaps we might need to slow down a little bit. I was finding even just a few weeks ago, I had that kind of, that kind of anxious, buzzy, like, you just kind of get a little bit kind of on adrenaline a little. It's summertime, it's August, but I was still feeling kind of that edge of kind of unease. And so really wanted to focus some time today and this week really on that self-care piece. So let's dive right in. So what I thought I would do with you all and share kind of the journey that I'm doing as well is the idea of looking at what kind of self-care pieces you'd like to do that you think would really benefit you and actually listing them out. So I'd encourage you to pull out your journal or piece of paper or do notes on your phone or your computer and list out again 10. We've been doing 10 items with our other exercises as well. And so let's look at 10 different items that you might want to do for some self-care. So for me, I've got book my haircuts, massage, take a bath, go for a walk, journal, listen to audiobooks and reading, morning and evening routines. I'd like to actually focus in on that this week. And so that seems kind of vague and broad, but I'm actually thinking it might be helpful for me to even narrow it down further. So what audiobook do I want to be reading next? When am I going to be taking those massages? What can I be doing to create some space to go for a haircut? I just got it done, so it's good. But maybe in the next 90 days, I want to plan out from now until Christmas. And so that's sort of some of the things I'm going to be looking at focusing on. So once you look at 10, I'd highlight maybe your top 3 to 5 and really make some time to do that. So for me this week, I've been focusing on my morning routine. And I found as a new mom, I've been focusing on not taking care of myself, honestly. I've just not been taking as much time to get ready in the mornings. And I found I haven't been feeling quite as nice. And so I decided this week, I'm going to get up and do my shower and have a nice shower start to the day at 5 a.m. And so far I did that today, this morning, and had a nice long shower. I took 40 minutes to shower and get ready in the morning. Normally I do 30 to 20. And so that felt luxurious. I did an extra face mask in the morning. I just really took my time getting ready. An extra coat of mascara, a little bit, a little bit of a different makeup look I looked up on the other day. And just those little things, I realized I wanted to take some time for me this week. So while we're talking about this on day 3, I'm not doing it on just one day. I'm actually going to be doing it all week and ideally going to continue this throughout the next 90-day period, the next season. So whatever that's going to be for you, I found that just setting that time aside, then I still had 20 more minutes before my family in the house woke up. So I took some time to journal and really kind of just tune into myself for the day. Then I had energy and time to make breakfast. I had music going by the time my husband and daughter came down from getting ready in the morning. And it just felt like an amazing start to the day. And I'd been previously doing 5 a.m. walks, and then I would come and do that. But it just felt luxurious. And so that's what I'm aiming for this week, is to really just to slow down and add some extra little bits in. I've heard some ideas of self-care as, putting on some essential oils, which is something I haven't done in a long time. And I think I would enjoy that as well. Or, even putting just on a nice lotion after you wash dishes in the evenings. These things don't have to be huge. I also love a spa day. I actually booked one mid-September already. I'm going to take the afternoon off from work while my daughter's in daycare and go and get a beautiful massage for the afternoon. I'm thinking I'll go early and spend time in the pool and just make a little bit of a day. I might take the whole day. We'll see how I'm feeling. If I can get away, I think that'll be lovely. And so, they can be big things or they can be small things, but just taking the time to do something that really will fill you up makes such a difference. And so I'd encourage you actually to set aside some time. Maybe it is, an evening walk or a bath or a foot massage. I'm planning actually and kind of making a little bit of a spa retreat all week. So I'm doing the morning get ready luxury beginning to the day, and then the evenings I am working on, well, not working on, that's not the right wording. I am spending my time and doing these lovely yoga evenings and some journaling and really taking some time with that. I know the times when I do that in the evenings, it just feels so luxurious and relaxing and amazing. And the idea behind this is, first of all, just for the benefit itself, but it's also this bigger picture sort of thing. So if we want to zoom out to the bigger picture of your leadership impact, we're talking about your energy tanks today, but if you're in burnout, if you're in overwhelm, you can't be that big picture self. You can't show up as that amazing, inspiring, charismatic, visionary leader that you are, or that you have your leaders and your teams are capable of, right? But they're not really standing up. They're not really showing their brilliance as best as they could. They're high achievers already, but you know that they could up level a bit more. And hopefully you're sharing this with them or going through something similar with them, maybe from a business lens. It's all the same. Personally, I see us as whole people, like I mentioned earlier in this series. And so really taking the time to fill ourselves up is great, but to do it regularly is the next step. So what are you going to start to implement regularly? So I've committed now to doing monthly massages. I've totally gotten out of that since being pregnant and having a kid and the whole pandemic thing. And so I'm going to recommit to monthly massages. I booked one for September. So what I'll do is book one for October, November, and December as well. And then they're set. It's already on my calendar. I don't have to think about it again. I just show up. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be creating kind of an ongoing support for. So what is it going to be for you? Are you going to commit to some morning routine? Are you going to maybe take afternoon lunch hour walks? Like that's my plan this next season as we move into fall, is to really do my lunch hour walks. So my schedule, as it's kind of forming itself over this week, but it's going to be kind of that morning luxury journaling mindset, maybe some Pilates in the mornings when it gets darker, rainier out. It's nicer to stay indoors when it's early. And then a lunch hour walk. When my husband's home from work, maybe he'll join me. That would be nice. We've done that in the past. It was always lovely. And of course, our dog loves the walks. And then in the evenings, my intention is to really focus on creating and self-care. So maybe that's going to be a bath as the evenings get cooler, some evening yoga. I might actually commit to a yoga class in the evening. That's something I've been thinking about, but never really stuck to. So I will take that as one of my things to explore here, because I know for me, I work really well with structure, with routine. And so if I can put those sort of habits of structure and routine into my self-care lens, then I show up that much better every day because of that. So that's what I encourage you to do as well, is to look at, doing some luxurious retreat type self-care this week, but then also integrating it as you're moving forward. So an example of one of my clients a few years ago, actually, she was one of my first few clients back when I first got trained as an executive coach. And she focused on a morning walk every day before work. She was going to go for a walk and then she'd show up to work. And what was really cool was, when I first started working with her, there was a bunch of things that they were challenged with. They had just reorganized their business. They had to lay off some people within this organization. And so the team that was left was kind of fearful and on edge, right? They weren't sure if they were going to be next. And so there was like this trust issue and a performance issue because of it. And then there was kind of like just this whole big, dealing with this reorg and structure and staffing and, leadership, all of that kind of day to day. So we found, though, that by focusing on her morning walks, she ended up having more energy to focus on the team pieces. And once she addressed those, so if you think about like the tolerating we talked about yesterday on day 2, the tolerating pieces, she addressed those. And then that cleared up her space and her energy to actually then finally get to the strategic outreach program that she'd been wanting to deal with on some project that she'd had on her plate for a while. And within maybe 2 months, she was able to start working on that project. By the time we were working together after the end, I think of it was a 4-month program. She had reached out to scientists in the local region and made amazing connections with them. She had made more community relationships. She had increased their fundraising revenue by a vast amount because she finally had the time to do that work. And I see that it's so easy for those of us that are high achievers, high performers. We often take on more than our share and we forget to take care of ourselves first. So we perhaps do more work than we should by not empowering our teams to do it. We take it on because we're trying to help them. We don't take the lunch breaks that we should because we feel like we need to do more work. And so we end up kind of tripping over ourselves and trying to make a positive impact by actually putting ourselves on the back burner. And so that's part of my mission here as a coach and my own personal journey as a leader is to really continue to ongoingly up level and improve my self-care so that I can be an even bigger impact and influence in the world. So without that, I wouldn't be able to show up as I have been. And so without it, you're not able to show up, or your team or your leaders aren't able to show up as they can. And so I highly encourage you to get support yourself in creating this kind of transformation. And in the mini version this week, focusing on your self-care so that your energy can get filled up. And we're going to use that again tomorrow. So once you've done some self-care time, we're going to connect again tomorrow, and we're going to actually talk about putting energy out in the world and making a splash. So I'm really excited about that today. What kind of splash do you want to make in the world? And maybe that's something you can start to mull on here today as we're doing our self-care pieces. I find some of my best ideas come from when I'm on holidays or in a bath or in a yoga class, when we've cleared out our spaces and then there's room for that inspiration to come in. Maybe you already have these things on your goals for the next 90 days and your wish list, and you just want to really get that to happen. So then I highly encourage you to get support to do that. So whether it's with a coach, whether you create more time within your schedule, maybe you need to take an afternoon off every so often to do personal admin things. Maybe you want to stop attending some meetings within your workday so you have more white space. There's a variety of things you can explore here to really give yourself a room for this. And the more room you have, the more energy and inspiration you're going to be able to create. So I'm super excited to hear about the impacts that you have from this exercise. I'd love to hear them down below in the comments if you want to share what you're going to be focusing on or your self-care ideas so we can inspire others as well. And I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. So day 4 is where we end up, like I said, creating. We end up focusing some of our time and energy on those projects that we really want to sink into and really make a splash with and, make an incredible impact in the world that we're here for. And so by doing the self-care today, we're going to have the energy to create tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow and enjoy your self-care. Talk to you soon. Bye.